Hey friends, we are live. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Eric. I am the co-director of the Horrible Things Film Club, and I'm joined as always by Madi Lynn.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, Madi.
I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing really well. This is a new thing. We are trying out something different tonight. This is our first live stream via Twitch with our kind of upgraded working system and everything. So we've got our friend Alex who's running some engineering for us and being very awesome about it. So hopefully this is a cool experience moving forward. We got some cool things to share with you in addition to all of our recommendations we normally provide you all with. Tonight we're joined by a very special guest. His name is Ryan Policky. He's a filmmaker. He's a pinball wizard. He's an actor. He makes video games. It's exhausting going through his credits, but we'll talk more about him later tonight. Maddie, how are you?
I'm doing well, coming off of a great shift at Outback Steakhouse, like always, but feeling pretty good, ready to talk some movies.
Outback. So that's fun. Yeah. I've had some cool movies I've got to see this week, which I was excited about. There's some cool stuff being released that I'm excited about. I should mention that we are not going to be having a live stream next week. We have a special guest, which we'll talk more about very soon. That kind of conflicts with our regularly scheduled live stream. So some of our picks could be for 2 weeks out kind of stuff, but nonetheless, cool things to be shared and cool things to talk about. So Maddie.
Yeah, so my first pick was Nocebo by, it's a Lorcan Finnegan movie. It's available on Shudder, and I was really taken with it when it has Mark Strong, which is the immense allure right away because I love Shazam. But the movie itself is so well done visually, but also just it gets under your skin very literally, which is one of my biggest irks. But yeah, it's on Shudder, and I believe we have a trailer for it.
You'll be brilliant. Love you.
Bye. Lucky shoes make me win and never lose. Have you been anywhere, Christine? After everything.
Hi.
Hello, Christine.
Sorry, do we know each other?
I'm here to help you. You sent for me.
God.
It's quite something to forget. Nice to meet you, Diana.
Hello, Bobs.
Only my friends call me Bobs.
Straight to work, eh?
You okay?
I make it go away.
This is a folk remedy, right? Feels like fog has lifted.
It's not forever.
I'm so happy.
I will be with you. Always.
Sometimes you can get led astray.
I need you to trust me.
My meds are gone.
She's controlling you.
I'm not the one who needs to control.
Stay out of my wife's head.
If her problems are in her head, I will find them and chase them out.
Why would she lie?
Allow me in. And you will be free.
pretty little elements of misery, psychological horror. It's fantastic.
It looks amazing. When did this come out?
I think it originally came out in 2022, but it is new to Shudder.
That's awesome. Great pick. Gonna make a beeline to check that out soon. Very, very cool. So I love Shudder, man. Come on.
It's got all the best.
So moving right along, my pick is actually a Blu-ray release that'll be coming out the Tuesday after next. And that is going to be Brandon Cronenberg's Infinity Pool. Infinity Pool is Brandon Cronenberg's third film. It's Alexander Skarsgård and Mia Goth, and it is fantastic. It is a really unnerving film. It was my pick for theatrical release when it came out. It'll be my pick anytime it's released in any capacity. And I really can't recommend it enough. It is it's really nuanced in a way that I didn't anticipate. It's visceral, it's horrifying, it speaks to class, it speaks to American imperialism to a certain extent. But it's a really like effective film, one that I really gets under your skin. So yeah, I wanted to play the trailer for Infinity Pool.
I don't understand why we're doing this. We barely know these people.
It's one day. Let's mix things up a bit.
You're just happy you found your fan club.
I've been waiting 6 years for your second book. Is it coming out soon?
I'm working on it.
What do you do for money then?
You married rich.
I actually came here looking for inspiration.
Mr. James Foster, you'll have to come with us.
Here, the punishment for any crime committed is death.
What did you say?
But for a significant sum, we'll build a double to send in for your execution.
Double.
Just like me.
Maybe think of it as a gift. It's like a new skin working into place. It's for you to complete your transformation.
This is just a little game.
But I can take some blood. Show me how strong you are. It's really disgusting. You could just sit there and watch it happen.
You know, James, do you worry they got the wrong man?
Still haven't seen it. It looks incredible.
Oh, I can't wait for you to see it. It's so good. Tim Hecker did the soundtrack for it. I've been listening to it essentially on a loop since it came out. It is so unnerving and so bizarre. Brandon Cronenberg's masks, the masks that he has in his films, the Possessor mask, Andrea Riseborough's mask, the masks in this, dude, unbelievable. The guy could have made a career just out of that alone. It's incredibly unnerving, but this film is so good, and really recommend you seeking it out and going deep. It's a heady film, well worth checking out. We got a couple more recommendations before we bring our guest on. Again, Ryan Policky, who's a writer, director, actor, pinball wizard, maestro of all things, animator. Again, I will get the laundry list out and we'll go through his credits. He's very generous to be here with us today, and we are excited to promote a double feature of his 3 films and a very special throwback 1980s classic that we'll be talking about very shortly. But first, Maddie, what is your second pick for the week?
This one is a little bit diabolical because it is a Blu-ray release of something that never should have been released on Blu-ray. It just does not need that quality. But if you're ever at like a party and things are winding down, but you want to get that energy up in a Mystery Science Theater kind of fashion, then I suggest you go out and buy Severan's 2K scan of Wings of Disaster, the Birdemic trilogy.
Okay. Okay.
If you haven't seen Birdemic, it's going to be your favorite movie to say, yeah, that sure was a movie. It did, in fact, it got made.
3 of them got made.
3 different films, and they can all be yours to watch back to back to back in possibly the worst marathon of your life.
Yeah, truly the crucible. We have a trailer, so we'll go ahead and play it.
Hello.
Birds attacked? It was a terrible day. Sadly, many people died that day.
What in the world?
These birds are contaminated. They have bird flu virus.
Birds falling out of the sky?
We have to accept our fate. It is death.
Let's take their guns and defend ourselves against these crazy birds. Good idea.
The bird is stressing me out.
I need a beer.
And cut. That was good.
Hanging out with the family, having ourselves a ball. It's a good thing to be with my family. Hanging out, yes it is. Hanging out with my family.
Singular, just a singular vision.
Truly, not even the rest of the cast or crew had any idea what the vision was, but it still got made 3 times over.
3 times over. I'm a big fan of Severin. I think they make incredible films, releases, and stuff like that. And this one is their podcast. They've talked about this one quite a bit, and it's really funny. There are specifically commentary tracks about how much the filmmakers, the people involved, hated it. So I've never seen that before. So I'm kind of interested in picking that one up, for no other reason than that is, pretty fun to see. Good for them.
Yeah, doing their best.
Doing their thing. Very cool. Okay. We've got one more pick, and it's kind of a double.
Yeah.
Right? I think both of us wanted to highlight this one. This is a theatrical release. It's a really, really interesting one. This is a film called Malum. And Maddie, what can you tell us about Malum?
So Malum is one that I wanted to recommend with a grain of salt because I actually have not yet seen it. But I have seen Last Shift, which I absolutely adored. And Malum is the quote that's under the C Center header is a bold and expanded reimagining of Last Shift. So it's the same director basically remaking his movie with the improvements he wanted to. So I'm really excited to see the differences, what works and what doesn't between the two, and kind of form my own opinion on which one I prefer myself. So I'm excited for it, and it's playing at the C Center, just like one of my favorite theaters.
It's awesome. I had a chance to see it on Thursday, and it is all those things. And what's funny is that enough time has passed, I kind of forgot the little details of The Last Shift, but it's all still there. And God, is it unnerving. Very, very creepy. My friend Alex and I went to see it, and Alex Hernandez, not Mr. Pace, who's the engineer behind the magic right now, And we got out of the theater and it was completely abandoned. And that is the worst thing to experience when you see a film like Malum or The Last Shift, where it's essentially a person alone in an abandoned space that is suddenly overrun by demonic cult members. Yeah, very much a high recommendation. The soundtrack, again, I'm all about soundtracks all of a sudden, but so good. So good. I wanted you to see the trailer, so we'll play the trailer.
I can see the fear in your eyes. You saw something you can't explain.
This way, rookie. Call's been rerouted to the new station, so it should be quiet. There's an emergency. The station's number's on the desk.
Sure, I'll be fine.
Hello?
Told us that Captain Lauren's daughter would be joining the department.
Yes, sir. Just want to work where my father worked, even if it's for one night.
He was a hero. Until he wasn't, you know.
Lanford Police Department.
You don't know what happened, but your father was no saint. Your daddy started something very important. Tonight we're gonna finish it.
The Temple Baron will bring forth the low god, and I will be Redeemer. Infinite Malum.
I can't do this anymore. Just get me out.
We pray in the temple of the low god.
Incredible.
Yeah, really, truly. Gets under your skin in a way that, oh man, it's hard to express. Fingers crossed. We got some plans in the works. You know, we might be doing something fun, but you know, we never know. Big ideas, big plans. We'll figure out where we go from there. I don't want to delay this any further. We have a wonderful guest, and I'm going to call an audible here, Mr. Alex Pace. We are going to push the next little video we were going to play to the end of the show. And if Ryan is available, I'd love to bring Ryan Policky on to join Maddie and I to talk about what he's up to. So with no further ado, Ryan, welcome to the show. How are you?
See my dog. He's quiet until the very first second.
That's how it goes.
I'm doing great. It's awesome to be on the show and just to talk about this weird, crazy stuff called horror.
You are so in it, man. You've got so many fingers in so many different avenues of horror and so many different things. It's really hard to summarize. You're a writer, you're a director, you are an actor, you make video games, you've owned 60 pinball machines in the last decade, you make pop-up haunted houses, that's not a thing, Ryan.
It is one of the hardest things in the entire world. And for some reason, I've done it for 10 years straight. I'm like, what are you doing every time? It's just like so hard. It's like to build a haunted house in like 4 or 5 hours and make it good enough that you're like, oh my gosh, this can actually happen.
It's amazing. we'll double back to that. Mutiny Cafe, I believe, is where you do most of that. And I think if anybody's ever gone into Mutiny and played pinball machines, they've played your machines. They've played your handiwork, which is awesome. Let's talk about horror, though. Like, you're a filmmaker, and there's an awesome event coming up on April 8th. That's Saturday night at the C Center, which we've just talked about how much we love, where there's a double feature, which is funny because it's 4 films, 3 of your short films, the London Motel trilogy of short films.
Motel London.
Thank you so much for the correction. Motel London.
Yeah.
Trilogy of films, and then also the classic Fright Night.
That's right. That's like one of my favorite films of all time. I always have it sitting here, so it's right there. Because it has the best art ever for the poster art. Oh my gosh.
It's brilliant.
Changed my life.
So how did you get into horror? How did you decide that was something you wanted to explore?
When I was a kid, my mom would take me to the video store, and we would always get the scariest looking film that was available. It didn't matter what the rating was. My mom's like, we got to see this. Really young, I was watching just about every horror movie you could imagine. That's why, like, Halloween, I'd watch that all the time. And there's no blood in it, but it's still the adult theme. But I went for it, and I loved it, and I was like all about it. When I first saw Haunted House existed, I was like, oh my God, I got to go to that. And as soon as I saw a pinball machine that had a haunted house in it, I was like, oh my God, this is the best world ever. Please let me get into any of these things at some point.
Amazing. And you've done it all, amazingly.
I've given it my all every time.
Truly.
Yeah. Yeah, so I was going to say, I mean, it ended up with finally doing this haunted house pinball tournament that happens every year. Each room themed on the pinball machine that's in it. And, that's been the big payoff is making that. Because, I mean, I've worked at haunted houses. I've done so many things involving horror. It's just confusing most of the time.
The event on Saturday is sponsored by the Great Colorado Festival of Horror, which we absolutely love. Maddie and I have been every year. We've had a friend present there, and we, great. We're so looking forward to this year's event. Daniel has been a guest on our show, and Brett has been very generous with his time too, and attention. So what a cool crew of people. And we had Daniel on our show, and his big recommendation was like, you gotta see Ryan Polisky's films. He's amazing. So
awesome.
when did you start making films?
These began probably in 2005. I was working at an ad agency, and it was like, strict deadlines, and you got to do these certain things no matter what you do. You had the limitations, right? Even if it's cool work, because I was doing cool work. I was working on Adam Sandler stuff all the time, and like Freaks and Geeks, I was working on their website, and like it was like I was a part of all these weird things going on, but I still needed that like escape, and I needed to make my own films without any all improv for the most part, just going for it. So we just would get together after work and just make crazy stuff. And that's what the movies kind of, how they began. So it's like 2006, I think. And and then it got to doing these Motel London films because I saw some scary place right off of Santa Fe I knew I needed to make a movie about. And it was called The London Motel. But it was like terrifying because it was all shut down and all the doors were open. So you knew people were in all these weird, scary rooms everywhere. And it went back into this trailer park that just caught fire. So it was disaster in the back. And it was like, oh my God, we got to make a movie out of this place. So that's where Motel London came from, was doing that.
Amazing. We're always super excited to talk to filmmakers who, kind of took that pathway to make films. Maddie is in the same way. Maddie is a DIY filmmaker, has made amazing things out of nothing.
You have to. You got to make amazing stuff out of nothing, unless you're a rich person.
How did it become a trilogy? That's something else I'm really curious about.
Well, because the idea of it is it's like a video game horror movie kind of thing. It's kind of like melds into different worlds, and it's confusing. And I was like doing confusing, really stupid movies that are terrible. So I was like, all right, well, let's make this really, really confusing movie that kind of goes in and out of reality into this weird video game. But it didn't get explained enough. It was 15 minutes. It's only 15 minutes long. That's why there's a trilogy of these, because each one of them are so short. But it's like, okay, we need to take it to the next chapter. So you can almost say that Motel London 1, 2, and 3 are chapters of this weird story. And, it's a confusing one. And it's very bad for the most part.
I'm so excited to see it. So again, April 8th, 7 p.m., I believe, is a kickoff time.
Yeah.
Start off with the trilogy of your films, and then lead right into to Fright Night, which is awesome. Such a great fun movie. So
yeah, and I mean that movie changed my life as a kid. So to be having my movies before it in any way is amazing. So I can thank Kofo and Dan, who I've known forever now. I've known Dan forever, and it's just awesome to keep trying to do all these crazy things with our films and our ideas behind horror. So I'm excited.
We are too. We're
absolutely
really excited.
That's great. I can't wait to see you guys there. It's gonna be amazing.
Absolutely. So this is our recommendation show, and you had a couple of picks, but we had to pick one. Okay. I want to point people to go check out your website. We'll put a link in there to check out your Halloween pinball machine, because that thing is fucking ridiculous.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, that was like so crazy. That was a random job I got over the pandemic time. I was just, they called me up because I did that Horror House Fest with them as sponsors for many years. And they're like, hey, we got this game and we know you can do animation and stuff. And I go up there and it's John Carpenter's Halloween. I'm like, yes, I'll do that. What is it? Let's do it now. Can we do it now? And that's what happened. So yeah, that's something to check out if you haven't seen the Halloween by Spooky Pinball.
Dude, amazing. Utterly amazing.
Thanks.
The trailer we get to show, though, the one I'm really excited about is the weirdest one we've shown. And we just showed the Birdemic trilogy. So well done, Ryan. Tim and Eric's bedtime stories from Adult Swim.
Yes.
Tell us about it.
Oh my God. I have watched that all the seasons probably like 300 times now. I'm just telling you, as far as like the combination of horror and pure stupidity, it is the best thing I've ever seen. Like, I love Tim and Eric, but nothing compares to this show. I wish they would keep doing it, because they only did like 3 seasons, and they should have done like 100, because they're amazing. It's hilarious. It's insane. It's exactly what I love.
I'm so excited to share this with our audience. We have a trailer.
We started writing the show late last year, and then we filmed it end of April all the way through May. Had such a good time making it. It's really been a dream come true for us to put this show.
Excuse me. What are you doing in my son's room?
Well, I was just telling him about our new show, Tim and Eric's Bedtime Stories.
Well, I should join you then.
I'd love to have you on board. It's an anthology show. Each week, it's a dark, disturbing story from the twisted minds of Tim Heidecker and Eric Wareheim.
Don't you worry, son. Most of the episodes will be starring Tim and Eric. The other ones will have guest stars like John C. Reilly,
Bob C. Odenkirk,
Jason C. Schwartzman,
Pencil Brothers,
Fang C. Rang,
and of course, our old friend Zung Velikanuknuks.
I just want to tell you, son, that we worked so hard on this new series, and we really hope you tell all your friends at school about it.
Now listen, I know you're Eric's son, but I don't mind coming over here and giving you a little discipline if you don't tell people about the damn show starting on September 18th. Well, I hope he doesn't have nightmares, huh?
pepperoni cheese with a tiny penis?
Everybody's looking at it.
Please watch our new show. It's on Adult Swim.
Slurpee wanted to say hi before he left.
Oh, hi.
Hello.
Hi, Slurpee.
It's okay, Slurpee. You'll be fine.
That is one lovely little sweater you got there.
Did you hear the audio on that? Because I couldn't hear the audio.
Yes, and it's so funny.
Oh my God. If you haven't seen this, I mean, go on HBO Max or whatever it is, and that is what it's on. And you can watch it over and over again. I mean, you will not get bored. It's insane. I have no idea why they didn't keep making these things.
They're funny that way, man. They hit their stride and then they pivot into something else, and you're like, oh man.
I know. I saw their musical. They did a live musical at the Paramount Theater. It was insanity. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. I just can't even explain. They're the best.
They are the best.
Just living in that world of like spaces in between reality and complete absurdity that they just continually exist in is astounding.
I know. I can't believe how many seasons those guys had. Like, they don't make sense ever. So I was like, there's no way this can survive. But it did. It's amazing.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
Well, Ryan, thank you so much for bringing that to our audience's attention. and really it is really worth checking out. It's very weird, but very cool. Very
I'm glad
funny.
you like it. I hope you got to get into it.
Well worth investing the time in. We got two other little things we want to share with you all. Once again, go check out next Saturday night. Get your tickets now. They're available at the C's website. We will also link to them so that you can track them down. But yeah, get your tickets now. Let's fill that space up and do some cool stuff to represent Denver horror filmmakers and just the community that we've got. It's a really robust one. People are, like Ryan, are awesome people doing really cool stuff. And this is important to foster this. So come hang out with us. Come hang out with Ryan. Come hang out with Daniel. Come hang out with everybody. It'll be a lot of fun.
New actors, come on.
Yeah, dude.
Get out there and let's all hang out and meet each other. It'd be good.
That's what we're talking about.
That's awesome. Well, I'm glad you guys are helping pitch this out there, and I'm excited. Next Saturday already.
It's already here, man.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun.
It's going to be awesome.
We've got two trailers that are going to take us out. One is for, of course, Fright Night. And then one is for a special event that Horrible Things is hosting this Tuesday. The inaugural I Need You to See This Movie that was curated by Maddie Lynn herself. There's a little teaser to tee it up. There's tickets available via Eventbrite. RSVP, it's a free screening. It should be a lot of fun. I think we're going to play these trailers back to back, and then we'll come back to say goodbye. So
sweet.
Let's start with some Fright Night. I want to see some Fright Night.
What would you do if you accidentally discovered the house next door was occupied by something not human? Something horrifying. Something unspeakably evil. No one believes you.
Mom, I didn't have a nightmare.
Not your mom.
They did kill a girl over there.
Not your girlfriend.
Charlie, is this some sort of a trick to get me back?
Not even the police.
Look, I know it's crazy. I know that, but look, Lieutenant!
It knows that you know. You'll do anything to protect yourself, but it will do anything to protect its secret. If you love being scared, this could be the night of your life.
This is a 2009 Australian tale of devotion, obsession, and delusion that will make you squirm. Hi, I'm Maddie Lynn. I'm a Denver-based filmmaker and co-director of Horrible Things Film Club, and I need you to see this movie.
Am I not pretty enough? Is my heart too broken? Do I cry too much? Am I too outspoken? Don't I make you laugh? Should I try it harder? Why do you see right through me?
Is there anything else aside from, of course, the event next Saturday that you want to hype, you want to give some attention to?
Yeah, so of course that is the big thing, but I am definitely working on some new film projects right now. We got 2 in the writing stage and an animated series for The Night Mutilator, which is one of the films that I made. So we're turning that into an animated version, and that's going to be exciting. So be paying attention every day and every night for Night Mutilator, the animated cartoon series.
You know, I wasn't going to say anything, but you do have a striking resemblance to the Night Mutilator. Someone in our chat mentioned that, honestly. But it's, it's hard not to see now.
Well, just to know that you have ever heard of that before makes it all worthwhile.
Wonderful.
In the Night Mutilator.
Maddie, do you have anything else that you want to share? We've got, of course, our friends doing lots of things this week. We've got a busy week ourselves.
Yeah. It's going to be, a fun week. We've got, of course, Schools Night. They do trivia every week. The 1st and 3rd at Electric Cure and the 2nd and 4th at Honor Farm. So if you're available on a Wednesday, go see if you can beat me. It's really, really hard to beat me. Try your best.
Yeah. It's great to try your best. And very thrilling if you can. I've only beat her once, and it was playing the Jeopardy. You got to play the Jeopardy, guys. We've got some very exciting things going on with the club, some things that we're not quite ready to announce yet, but they're in the works. I promise you, friends. Thank you all so much. Thank you to the club members. You guys have been contributing to us for a long time, and it's really let us try out some very cool things. And we're going to keep at it and keep doing some cool stuff. So I think that kind of wraps it up for us. Ryan, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you. You guys are awesome. That was super fun.
Dude, so great to meet you. And Slurpee, you were a minch.
Oh, you're a good dog. Thanks for having us. Yeah, that was awesome.
We'll see you Saturday night to watch some horror, local horror.